Today we're going on a run with Dr. Kimberly Pope-Robinson. She's the founder of One Life Connected and the author of the Unspoken Life. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
In your book, you introduced the concept of balloons. Can you tell us what balloons are and why it's important for people to have their unique individual balloons?
Balloons, for me, how I explain them is they're part of our own well-being and understanding how we can find that space that keeps it sustainable for us, not only in our career in veterinary medicine, but just in life. And there are these things every day that pull us down to this place where we feel unworthy of acceptance and belonging. I call those sinkers. And what the balloons are the things that lift us up out of that space of where we feel disconnected and unworthy. And for each of us, those balloons are very unique, but there's 4 of them. There's a mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional balloons. And because there are uniqueness to them, along with our sinkers being unique, I really can't tell you what your balloons are.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So for me, one of my big balloons is running. And I can run anywhere, and I can do it even if it's just a mile or even just a half a mile. I always feel better at the end. In addition, the reason why it's important to know what your balloons are and fill them is that you can't get rid of the sinkers, right? And so they're always going to be there, and they're everywhere. They're in your career, they're in your life, they're with your relationships. As much as relationships can be balloons, there's things that can be sinkers in there. And having those can help us in knowing how to be mentally resilient when the things that come around that give us pain and frustration and even resentment at times.
Oh, definitely. So I'm not a runner. I know you love running, and running is one of your balloons. Why is that, and how does running make you feel?
So running fills a lot of balloons for me, and it's something that I started really young in my life. My father used to run, and so it was really easy for me to tag along with him. And then I started doing cross country and track and field, and when I was in junior high and high school. And it was just something that stuck with me. One of the cool things about running for me is the runner's high. So physically, it gives me a balloon. And then also mentally, I'm able to check out. And because in the old days, we didn't have cell phones and things that connect us, when you went for a run, you were checked out. You were away from everybody, you're by yourself. And I recreate that still today. So even though I'll have my phone with me, it's only on emergency mode. And I'm checked out. And I get to fill that mental balloon that I need. And because it also fills emotional and spiritual balloons, because it allows me to do it anywhere I want. And so I make goals based on that. And I'm currently trying to ride a half marathon in every state, and that's getting me to visit.
Impressive.
And another balloon is traveling for me. And so this way I get to travel and see different things in addition to running. And so then I'm able to combine kind of balloons.
It's great that all the balloons interconnect with each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when you run, do you run by yourself or do you run with people?
A variety. So oftentimes I run by myself when I'm training or I'm traveling because I'm not with people. So it's hard to do it with other people. And when I do run with other people, you have to keep in consideration their pace, my pace, their limitations, my limitations. And I do have certain people I run with, and we are able to communicate that. Those are the individuals I often will do events with. They live across the country. So if I'm going to do an event in Massachusetts, I might call her up to tell her, or in Washington, I'll call somebody else up. But one thing that always tends to go with me is Oscar. So Oscar is an often companion that I have when I'm running, especially when I'm doing events. So he'll sit in my Camelback, and he's right there by my side all the time.
Awesome to always have a running buddy.
Another balloon. Yeah,
and in a way, being with friends, that fills another balloon of yours.
Absolutely, yeah.
Connecting again with running. For people who want to get into running, what are your advices for them?
My advice for people who want to get into running is you have to think about a couple different things. Number one, what length are you really wanting to get into? If you're wanting to be someone who wants to train for a marathon, there's a whole other training program that you need to look at than if you just want to do 5Ks or just 3 miles on a regular basis. The second piece is speed. Now, a lot of people get out there and they're like, I am going to go gung-ho and I'm going to go super fast. And you can. When you first start running, the first day, you could go out, but you're going to feel that the next day and for many days. And it may even deter you from wanting to run again. So even though you feel strong, slow down and slowly move up in your speed and how fast you go. And the third piece that I would really recommend people to do is learn how to stretch. I have muscle memory from years of running. I have been running since I was 12 years old, and I'm 45, so I have 30 years plus of running
It's a long
time. It's
time.
a long time. I have the ability to recover differently than someone who's never run before in their life. They're gonna have muscles they've never used in that way, and so they're gonna be really painful. And there's specific stretching you need to get in the habit of doing to help prevent permanent injury and then also pain. So those are the things I would look at in helping someone start out.
Great advice. Well, thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video.